Alright, welcome back. We are getting ready for the next event, which is Shardfall Free-for-All. You can actually see the Shardfall from here. We will be here for the next hour. I'm not sure how many people will actually be showing up, but anybody is welcome to come and participate. Just entering the Shardfall flags you for PvP. And inside of here are some really not nice creatures anyway. So it's good to bring a group if you're not planning on doing PvP. If you are, you will still want to bring a group, but for completely different reasons. Alright, I don't see that anybody else is here right now, so let's go in and take a look at the Shardfall itself. Give you guys a chance to see it if you haven't yet. You can see all the shards hanging in the mid-air. Those are a pretty good indication that magic is afoot. The shards are actually pieces of the shattered moon that broke off and have taken up residence in these high population areas. So the Flesh Flare that you see here is one of the creatures unique to the Shardfall area, and they can spit quite a ways. And one of the things that they are apt to drop are those Chaos Stones. So I don't know if I'll actually be able to do any damage to this thing or not. I'm betting not. It doesn't seem like anything I'm doing is having any effect, so. The obsidian golem that it's fighting is also one of the things that might potentially drop some obsidian chips. Probably actually more likely to than the Flesh Flare, but the Flesh Flare is by far the more dangerous foe. that it's noticed me. It's spitting acid, and probably going to do a lot more to me than I can do to it. Yep. So I died and became a ghost, and it looks like there are some onks here in this zone. When you die, you need to get to a resurrection area, and you can see on the compass at the top that there are a number of different onks available. See which is going to be the closest. None of them look too close. There's one. Alright, if I can make it here before I resurrect, that will be good. Looks like something is patrolling nearby. It's probably one of the watchers, but if not, I may need the resurrection stone again. Alright, well, I don't see anybody else coming in here, so we may just call off this event and go on to something else. But while we're here, let's take a look around and I'll show you what the Shardfall actually is. These are located in a number of different locations around, well, at least 3 that we're aware of. And the Shardfall itself is a piece of the shattered moon. When the moon broke, the Shardfalls came down and jabbed into the ground. And from where they fell, there are a number of creatures that came to be that never existed before. Some of those are actually living in this area now, but others are creations of magic. They seem to be very chaotic. Everything that's created through these Shardfalls, you can kind of see how they're all the crystals are jabbed into the ground from where they broke off. And they're kind of floating up into the air. But the Obsidian Order actually used shards to power their magic. And it twists life around it. So there's things that exist here that don't exist anywhere else, including, as you can see, some odd-looking plants, some that are more of a hybrid of plant and animal, and some that are just purely chaotic. These type of creatures are like the Bloodthorn, which is a plant that drinks blood, very carnivorous, and one of the items that really hasn't been explored yet in the game. Still on that coming soon list. Other things are like the Flesh Flayer that we saw earlier. Some odd looking fungus that you can see here. Lots of strange life forms. So not all of them have a purpose yet, so it's kind of fun to come in here and look. I think before too often, a lot of this will become more hazardous. But the main purpose of these Shardfalls is player versus player combat. So just entering the zone or the scene will flag you to become PvP, at least while you're still in here, and potentially for a short time after you leave. And this is an open PvP area, and all of the resource nodes, at least in the online version, are enhanced. So if you see something to harvest here, it will be probably the hardest place you can harvest from, but it also will reward you the most. So it has the more uncommon items will be found here in greater numbers. Like you can see here, this is just Nightshade, but Nightshade isn't the most common of the regents, so you can definitely gather some while you're here. It's also prone to dropping more of a specific gathering element than you would get anywhere else. So I got 4 out of there. I think I only got 1 the last time I harvested in the other scene. So definitely things to look for here is the resources, but because they're contested, anything you pick up inside of this area will remain on your corpse if you die here. So this is a more open PvP area. If you come in just to gather resources and you get killed by another player, they're going to keep your stuff. And you can see there's a lot of creatures around here, more flesh flayers that are going to kill me. And there's an Ankh right over here. But it's interesting getting inside some of these locations and just seeing the different artwork and types of background that you might find that you might not see anywhere else in the game. You kind of see here's an archway that leads down more directly into the Shardfall area. And then alternatively, you can go around and try to avoid the flesh flayers. Alright. Well, I'm not seeing anything, anybody else popping up to engage here, so let's kind of move on and see what else we can find to do right now. Let's see, we've got the next event is the Port Phoenix Social Night at 7, so we've got time for that. And that's going to be in Hometown. So we'll get a preview of that. We're going to head back there tonight at 1 so that me and Lazarus can do a little spoof on MTV Cribs and talk about the different housing options available, kind of critique some of the decorating options. And that's not to take away any of the skill of the decorators. All of the community members who have donated time and effort to build up Hometown and decorate it after every wipe are aces. They need much congratulations, because it is an excellent place to go. You head in there, you can take a look at a bunch of new housing types, different lot sizes, different basements, and each are not just going to be static, but they're going to be decorated up like someone actually would in the game. So they deserve much praise for that. Let's go ahead and head out of here. A couple other places we're going to be heading tonight. At 7, we're going to Port Phoenix. Actually, we're going to Hometown for the Port Phoenix Social Night. At 8, we'll be actually coming back to this area right near the Grunwald Shardfall is Vengeance. So we will be visiting Vengeance for their PvP tournament. Then at 9:30, we will be going out with Winfield to go fishing. And then after fishing, we are going to head back to the Lost Vale, or Forgotten Vale, and have a Dragon's Meet with some of the Ultima Dragons. So, lots of fun stuff coming up. Actually, while we're here, I'm going to show you where Vengeance is. It's one of the... we went by Paxlair on the way here. That was the very first player-owned town that was placed here. Vengeance was second or third in the list, so it was also very early on. And it's one of the very first player-owned towns that is dedicated for PvP combat. So here's Vengeance. And then right next to that is their sister town of Serenity. And I believe this down here is Sir Frank's... Nope, that's Hidden Oasis. I believe Dead Horse is down here as well. That's Sir Frank's town. It's in the very same area. But let's go back to a slightly easier area to get to. So we need to run through Eastreach Gap. This is a contested area, so we can't just traverse it. It's actually something we need to zone into and run to the other side so that we can get out the other end. And you have the choice of going through this area, or you could run over to Virtus Pass and go through the snowy mountains on that side. So if you have a lot of gold, you can talk to this mage here, and she'll actually teleport you from this side to the other. But it's something like 1,500 gold pieces, and I don't think I've ever had that much, so I'm going to run it myself. Last time I was through here, it wasn't as dangerous as I thought it would be. So you just need to break open the gates with a couple hits, and then we're going to run past all of the enemies and break it open on the other side as well. Now some of these guys in here there's a large skeleton archer, so he's got some range on him. That one's a skeletal wizard, and he's got range and fireball. So definitely want to avoid them if possible. And then looks like we're gonna make it through without too much of a hassle. And then we just need to get to the exit down here. And there are some other creatures that will attack us. That one still says Desert Wolf. I thought most of those had been replaced by coyotes, but apparently not all of them. So that's a basic run through Eastreach, and an example of one of the contested areas. And now that we're on the other side of that, you can see that there are a number of things going on down here. We are actually approaching Soul Town and Solace Bridge. Solace Bridge is actually this small village right here. And we could go back in and visit if you wanted to see what it's like when it's not on fire. The one thing in Solace Bridge that's changed is that there are some higher level creatures here now, including zombies. Zombies do spread a plague, which is the reason we got some of those potions earlier. But zombies are not the worst things in here, unfortunately. And of course I see zombies as soon as we get here. Usually these guys only come out at night. But as long as I can avoid them, I can get to somewhere where we can actually do some damage. Alright, and now once we get past the bridge area, you can see that the Lunar Rift is actually active now. And our old friend Edvard is still here. And that's probably a funny thing to note. Edvard, it was revealed, is actually the character that Tracy Hickman has as his own in-game character. So when you talk to Edvard, you're actually talking to Tracy Hickman, which I can recommend doing because he is a very interesting guy. And I know that a couple of the other developers do have their own in-game persona. Richard Garriott is, of course, Lord British, and Starlong is Darkstar, the Chaos Mage. I'm assuming some of the others will as well. I know on the forums, Lum gave away Arabella's real-life persona, but I don't know how widely that's known, so I'm not going to spoil it here. We'll take out some of these wolves. And spiders. I am perfectly okay with the spiders not being as killer as they used to be. They are still plenty bad enough. Alright, you can also see a couple of things from here. That red tree really stands out right now. It's not there because it's fall. It is there because that is a designation that it is a foresting node. So we can go down there and cut down that tree. We'll also continue down. Oh, there's some more zombies. And let's not deal with zombies right now. See if they'll leave me alone or not. Nope, doesn't look like it. And there's the thousands of spiders. Okay, well, we're going to die. But it is what it is. So there's a few different places you can get resurrected around here. I believe the easiest place to reach is going to be right down here in the ruins, which is actually unfortunately past where the zombies were. And with all those white dots, you can see those are where living creatures are. So I will probably be walking into a lot of combat. You can see Kyakus is still here, and now he has a friend. So let's see what's going on. Alright. This human child has found refuge. Her name is Charlotte Gray. She does not seem afraid of him, even though he's an elf. And she was a survivor of the undead. Alright, well, let's go talk to her and see who her parents are. She's asking our name, so I'll go ahead and type that in. Yep, she seems to like Kyakus very well. Her name is Abigail, and her mom's name is Abigail, and her name is Charlotte. And I believe there is a quest in Soul Town to come back and find her. So if we wanted to continue on that, we definitely can. I think it's interesting that these ruins here have there's some weapons and shields that were hanging up. That one's gone now. In the earlier version, they have a second shield, but there used to be a bow that was hanging up here. Not the most powerful bow, but it would have been one to start with if you didn't go through the test of love. I'm not sure really when that got removed. Probably several versions ago, I would think. Since we didn't have a wipe, I didn't go through the tutorial all that much the last few releases. I've also always been interested in these doors down here. Would think that there is a way to open them somehow, but I haven't run across it yet. And that might lead into another area that we might want to take a look at. That's about 6:30, so let's see. We can probably head out of here and let's go show you what Ardoris looks like. While I'm here, I'm actually going to post a link to the Ultimate Dragons, just in case they want to join. Alright, so we are in the southern most region of Novia. This is the perennial coast. You can see Soul Town is here. To the south, you can see some obsidian architecture. That is the Tower of the Shuttered Eye. You have to traverse through this swamp to get there. Here's the perennial trail that leads along the coast. Really have two choices here. You can go south here to Arteris, or you can take that northerly route and you get to Celestis, and which is another good town to visit, but I don't think there's as much to show off as there might be in Arteris. So let's see what we can do here. It's taking a minute to load us in. Alright, well, I will take the same moment to make sure that you guys still remember. You can log in to, or not log in, you can visit extra-life.org/participant/browncoatjason to support me. Just click that link and enter your payment information. You get a tax receipt right away by email, and I will receive a notification of your pledge. Anything that you do donate to support me does go directly to the Dell Children's Hospital down in Austin, Texas. As well, you will immediately be entered into win prizes that we are giving away every 2 hours. The next one is at 8 p.m. and I have a Oracle coin and a $5 add-in store credit to give away. So if you were not around to see that last time, the Oracle coin is just like this. So one side has the face of the Oracle on it, the other side has her confirmatory. It's a beautifully etched golden coin from Relics by Rild. This one is donated by Style Tuckle of the Caverns. So thank you very much to him for providing that benefit to one of our lucky winners. And we will auction that off at, or I will do a random for anybody who's donated at least $5 sometime about 8 o'clock. Right? If you do want to win one of the grand prizes, excuse me, we do have 3 available. The one right in the middle here is a custom Lego minifigure designed for you, for your character, by Unseen Dragon on his Sodabricks website. He has designed a number of custom Lego minifigures for members of the community. These 2 were actually given down in the Hoploth last November. That is Yolo and Shimino, I believe. He has also designed some for other members like Fire Lotus and Darkstar, the Space Bards, and numerous others. So there are some really cool people out there with those, and if you want one, you need to donate. We also have a signed Shroud of the Avatar New Beginnings comic book, as well as one of the original panels used to create a comic page, donated by Indy Martin of Tortoise and Hare Creations. Indy and XJ created the comic, and they are also responsible for a number of other comic creations and books and artwork that are going on several places in the community, but they are excellent. So if you want a chance to win that, if you're interested in art at all, or if you like comics, you definitely want to enter to win that. And then the third piece is a custom hand-designed mug that was donated by Rild. This is a large mug with Lord British's imprint upon it. There are a very limited number of these that were ever created. Lord British himself has a pair, and Rild gave us one to auction off today. So if you're interested in either one of these awesome things, you need to donate, because the person who donates the most during Extra Life will get the first choice of which of these prizes they will receive. And then second place will get their choice of the next two, and the third place will get the remaining prize. And these are excellent prizes. So if you are interested in any of those, right now the price to beat is $125. So if you want to donate more than $125, you get your choice of which of these three you want to receive. If you have already donated, please donate again. I will take the total of all of your donations as your total towards winning this. If you have donated and you've won a prize already, that does not disqualify you for winning these or any of the other $25 prizes at the end of the day. So if you are interested, go ahead and donate. And if you win something higher, we will simply re-roll for the old prize. We want everyone to have a chance at it, but I don't want you to be shorted on your chance of winning. So, cool stuff. I really am glad everybody is donating well, and I want to see these beautiful things go to a good home. All right. Again, if you are following me on Twitter, Browncoat Jason, you can follow Extra Life on Twitter or the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. If you're on Facebook, you can join the Ultima Dragons or Shroud of the Avatar groups. If you're not familiar with the Ultima Dragons began as a group on Prodigy during the early days of the internet. They have members ranging from all over the country and beyond, and they are basically the best fans of Ultima ever. So if you want to become a member, please go out to udic.org to join, and then there is a roster on the Facebook page. So we welcome anyone who has ever enjoyed Ultima Online, any of the spin-offs. Please come out, join us, and enjoy chatting with you online. And finally, if you are on Twitter or you're willing to sign up for Twitter, come on in and follow David R. Watson 2. That is the real-life person who is the inspiration for the companion YOLO. And he is still lives down in Austin. He creates custom crossbows through crossbows.net, so you can go out and order a YOLO crossbow. And he also is a singer-songwriter, so he is probably familiar with his Stones song. He also wrote Kerala's song, which is part of Shroud of the Avatar now. And if we get him up to 500 followers, Lord British has said he's going to commission another song from YOLO. So, more songs in this game, more content from David. I think those are great things to go for. So, please go out and follow them, and follow me, and we will get you back to something to do soon. In 15 minutes, we will be moving down to Hometown and taking a look at some fun things to do with Port Phoenix in their social hour. But for now, I'm going to show you Ardoris. Ardoris is the first big city that was released. So this is probably one of the items along the path of love that you will encounter. It used to be the city of Love. The Titan of Love used to live here. She's recently gone missing. But it is also home to one of the confirmatories of the Oracle, as you can see right ahead here. All of those red eyes are a little disconcerting, but if you read Tracy Hickman's novel that him and Richard have been working on, you will find that the Oracle was actually created by the Titans as a mechanism to preserve some of the humans. So it may not be as evil as it looks. But Ardoris is formerly the city of Love. It is a divided city at the moment. When we get down here, you'll actually be able to look down the path and see the halves of the city. This is the main square. You can see the Titan of Love is depicted here. And this is the place you will come to go shopping and so forth. But let's run right on down here. You can see there is lots and lots of row housing here. This is a large city, so almost all of the lots available are row houses. And it looks like I must have ran right by the main thoroughfare, so we will probably need to turn around here to go back. Yep. Okay. On one side of the city is the Palace of the Mountain. That is where the Shogun lives, and he is one half of the rulership of this town. The other half is where the priestess lives. And the priestess is, they're kind of split right now. So you'll see that in some places, only the people who follow the priestess will believe you about certain things, and in others, here's a open air market that's part of the main village. But yes, on the other side, there we go. So straight on down this path is the Palace of the Mountain, and you can see its gates are closed, and each of the signs in front of it have a mountain on them. And if we look down the other direction, it's exactly the same on the Palace of the Wind. So the rulers used to be married couple. I guess I don't know if they have a divorce or not, but they no longer get along. You can see the gates are closed down there as well. And there are a couple of things you can do here in town to try to resolve their split. It actually originated when a expedition out to the undead capital, Necropolis, failed, and ended up with the attack on Solace Bridge as a reprisal. So there's definitely some things you can learn here, and lots of fun things to do here in town. lot of time here just because we're kind of short, but let's head out to the north. And we'll run right past that Oracle building again. This bridge was put in after the city had already been constructed, so it's not part of the original map, but it's the fastest way to get out of town, and it also has a few merchants on there that were missing from the original town. So it's a fisherman and a fishmonger and the butcher there. And actually, while we're here, I might want to buy some bait because we're going to be going fishing with Winfield this evening. So let's make sure we have... Is that the butcher? Yeah. Let's go down to the fishmonger and we'll buy some bait. That way we'll have some when we get down there. So we'll buy some worms. The lowest price anything can be right now in the game is 2 gold, which is really a lot to spend on a worm. But I'm going to go ahead and buy a few anyway, because fishing is a lot of fun. And let's make sure I actually have skill in that, or if I have to go train. Yep, I'll have to run to a trainer for that, but we will do that in Soul Town. Alright, I see Laz has come back online, and we'll probably get in touch with him soon about some of the goings on tonight. But let's make our way towards Hometown. It's actually on the other side of Soul Town, and it's on an island right off the coast. So we'll be running right by Soul Town, so we'll just stop there, and I will drop off these swords and pick up some arrows and a fishing pole so we don't have to come back. And then we'll train in fishing just to have it ready to go. Alright, so Soul Town is this direction. And we will pop in here for just a second. And wow, it's only 5 till. Well, I'm sorry, Kazin, if I'm a couple minutes late to our shindig here. I'll check to see if you're in line here in just a minute, and maybe I'll just zone over to you to save time. Kazan's online, so as soon as we're done here, I'll just zone over to him. 121 arrows, but comparatively that's not very much. So I'm actually going to grab some more, and I will take 1,000 more with me, just in case. And then I will need to take a couple more things. The first, they just added these necklaces that you can wear, and I'm going to show my support by wearing my Ankh. I'm also going to wear my Lord British cloak. So, got that. And finally, I will need my fishing pole of prosperity. There we go. And I will take that with me so we can use that later. Alright. The other thing we're going to want to do is come outside and talk to the skill vendor. Excuse me. And we're going to learn about fishing. And this trainer can't actually train me in that. That's too bad. Not every trainer is capable of training you for everything, so sorry, I had a Google Plus call. I thought they could just log in here, but I will send them a link here in just a second. Alright. Going to zone over to Kazan. He must be in the middle of zoning, so and we will try one more time. Alright, well, we will go ahead and head out then. Now, there's a couple other things in Soltown that you might want to see. There is a cemetery, and there is a couple points of interest. I don't know if anybody's interested in that right now, but we can take a look at that later on. But I'm going to run down to Hometown quick and see if we can get in on the games there. You can see the shattered moon coming down to rest there. And I'm trying to remember if it's this one or if it's the next one over. Hometown. So when you're this close, you can actually just click on Hometown to get over there. Just double click and you will jump. Some of the other player-owned towns that are island templates have the same effect. You can just jump right into it. And you can see in Hometown the town crier is also the banker, so you can talk to them right there. There are some merchants here in case you want to buy something. And then if you come up here, you can see lots of decorations, lots of buildings. There's a guard tower, a Titan of Love, the Titan of Truth. You can see that there is a shop built there, and just moving over there you can see what any of these buildings are. So there's a fishing merchant. Here's one of the pavilions. That is a fairly simple building. I believe it's the base one without a shingle roof village. There are various other ones you can see here. There's one of the airships. The airship is an exclusive add-on store home, so if you're interested in getting something like that, you actually do need to purchase it, and it's fairly expensive. But it does not have a lot more room than some of the others. This here is one of the banks, so this is what the bank looks like in almost every town. There's two bankers behind the bars that you can converse with, and if you go up the stairs, a lot of times there's going to be NPCs in here. Quite often the realtor and the home decorations are going to be in these areas. But yeah, there's at least one of every type of building available in the pledge rewards, in the add-on store, or available in-game that are in this town. So you can come in here and take a look and see exactly what you would get if that's something that you upgraded to. So there's a fire pit burning in the front, and you can look through the windows and see what's inside. You do have an option in your settings to cull items that are inside of a building. That means they only start drawing these items once you get close. Once you're close enough to look inside, that allows you to cut down on how much memory it takes to load into a zone, while still having some fairly good performance once you're there. The pumpkins, carved jack-o'-lanterns, are available in the add-on store. Those were put in for Halloween. It looks like there's a shed available out here. Number of other buildings that are just sitting around. I do love the appearance of this druid tree. It only fits on a town lot. I don't have a town lot, so I have not purchased one, but these are amazing appearance inside. So you get the soft glow of candlelight underneath, but once you're outside you can follow the tree trunk up and around, and there is another interior further up. So not a lot of interior space, but you definitely cannot complain about the looks you get on a house like that. Some of the other things you might notice are water-based lots. If you are a founder, early on you did get a water lot in addition to your home that comes with the pledge. Water lots are exclusive to founders at this point. I believe there are some over here. But what those allow you to do is control a small piece of land along the coast. So you can see the boat there is one of the founder homes. I can't tell from here which one it is. You can see in here is the new water that they've been experimenting with. The old water didn't have color change like this. It was very murky. And once you get down close to it, this water is actually fairly translucent. So that is a good change, I believe. Yeah, so it looks like a couple of the ships are over here. Those are for the higher end pledges. There's a houseboat, a Baron galley, and a frigate. So that's where those are. Knights also have a water house. It's a lighthouse, which is probably going to be available out here. And then the Lord of the Manor and the Dukes have their own keep that sit on a water lot. So those options are available as well. I do have a founder account with a lighthouse, but I am not sure I'm actually going to use it. The water lots that I have available are the Citizen and the Edelman lot, which are smaller houses, but they are kind of designed on a dock system. And then the Knight Lighthouse. And I will probably be using the Knight's home instead of the lighthouse, so I might end up just trading that off. I like the size of the village lot that I have, so I don't really need to upgrade. I do like the Knight Marshal house, which can fit on the village lot. It's a little more well designed, I think, than the other keeps, but I'm not sure that I would find anybody that would be willing to trade. Alright, so up here are the larger keep type lots. So I believe this is the old Lord of the Manor house, which is a very large city-sized lot home. And then there's the chateau behind it, which is also a city lot. And then that appears to be the newer one, which is even larger than a city lot. And right there is the lighthouse, you can see. and it does have a functional beacon, so you can either shine that to save everybody from the reefs or annoy your neighbor, depending on how tall their house is. And I believe that's the Edelman lot, the water lot, which is pretty cool. It's got a working bell that you can ring by pulling the chain. I must not have my sound on. And these are some of the wood and plaster and city homes that are available. There's a rustic style house, and there is a wood and plaster style house that were formerly available in the add-on store. I think almost all of them have been discontinued. This is the Obsidian Tower. The wax-looking roof there is the Wizard's Tower, which I always thought looked kind of funny, but several people seem to like it. And then in front of me there are the tower homes, which are still available in this add-on store. So it looks like someone built a cemetery here, and there's an arena basement below it. The arena is usually a PvP area, so we can probably go down there. It'll flag us if we need to be. But these are some pretty cool areas down here. There's a arena basement in the castle, city and town size, and village size. There is not one yet for the Duke's Keep size, nor is there one for a row lot. Although, if they ever created one for a row lot, it would basically be a boxing ring, because there's not much room down there. But I'd be okay with that. Alright, so inside of here, you can see quite a bit of room available. So Gabriel's down here. Pretty cool looking setup they have though. we're in the right place, but apparently nobody else is here. And every time I try to zone over to Kaizen, so it's not just us. There are other people that can't get there either. Interesting. They're saying it's not possible to zone into basements anymore, which defeats the purpose of having events in them. But okay. It was worth coming down here to see anyway. Well, it's worth a shot. I'm going to head outside and see if we can't get an invite into someone's party that's in that instance, and then we will try to zone back in. That will hopefully get us to where we want to go. a few people here to my friends list so that I can find them later. Take a look around and see how many people are down here. Sexy's here. Bambino's here. Lots of people that we have already talked to today. Golden Wing is here. Should probably friend him as well. So it does look like there's lots of things going on down here. I'm not sure exactly how to play the game that they're going through right now. It looks kind of like a suitcase kind of pick, but hard to say. Some of the other Tour Quest reward hats in the audience. This is the Pilgrim hat. She's wearing the goggles that were last month. He's actually wearing the Knight's Marshall's winged helm. He's also got the same one on that I'm wearing. And this is the donut hat that was a couple months ago. And this right here is the Aether vibration amplifier, the console version that we're actually going to be giving away at the end of the night. We have 4 of those, courtesy of Avatar's Radio. I wish I knew more about this game so I could tell you guys if it it is doing well, or what exactly the rules are or anything like that. Several people have won thousands of gold pieces. Someone just won a $5 gift card to the add-on store and a trivia question. So anybody who answers this trivia question that's participating gets a prize. And the prize is a horse. So someone went out and used a taming kit to capture a horse for us. And you will be able to see that here in just a second. This is the first release with horses in it, and the horses in the add-on store are actually foals, so you won't get to see them grow up until later on. Alright. Which skill was the first complete skill tree in Soda? I believe swords is correct. Blades. Alright, correct. Well, while we're waiting for them to get going a little bit more, let's take a look at what else is going on right now. It is 7:30. At 8 o'clock, we're going to be heading to Vengeance for the PvP tournament. At 9:30, after that tournament, we will be joining Winfield and going fishing. Looks like that was the end of round 1, so they're going to start on round 2 of their game. So do we take what you've earned so far or go for 50,000 gold as the last Avastar standing? Since I believe he just won a $5 actual gift certificate, I think I would probably keep that, because the next wipe would take your money with it. But let's jump over and see. I don't have any questions on Facebook. I don't see anything on the forum. Nothing on Google Plus at the moment. Alright, apparently she pulled a pumpkin out of the box and it was a bomb and she died. Sure, that happens more than we want to admit. So there's 100 boxes to open, 20 of them are bombs. Lots of people winning lots of money. That's cool. Alright, so is Gurney gonna go for it or walk away? Thinking they're probably gonna go for it. When she does. And see what he's gonna pick out. And 3,000 gold. So not a bad investment. He's up to 7,000 total. Andreas has 6,000 gold. He's going to go for it and see if he can earn even more. And he is going for one in the middle next to a pumpkin bomb. And it ends up being another 6,000 gold, so he's at 12. Not a bad total there. And Miss Amber Rain is up. And Amber needs her own pumpkin, so she's going to see if she can blow up. She gets 4,000. So she's up to a total of 9,000 gold. Now it's up to Rhea. Rhea is famous for making mazes in her home plot, and they're quite intricate. And it looks like she's going for it since she's running to stand on something here. And she wins another 3,000 gold and 10 repair kits. Repair kits are used, of course, as the word implies, to repair items, and those are very useful little contraptions. There are two variations. One is an instant repair kit, something designed to be used in the field. It does not repair maximum durability damage, but it does repair when your item is below maximum, up to what the current maximum is. However, items as their damage take two types of damage. One will lower the maximum durability, and one only lowers current durability. So if you damage a sword that has 100 durability on it, it may only be able to be repaired in the field up to, say, 75 or 90. And then in order to repair the rest of the damage, you actually need to go back to a blacksmithing table in order to repair that initial durability damage, so it's back to 100 available. So I'm not sure which kind they are giving out right now, but either one of those are very worthwhile investments. Right, while I was talking, Cray decided he would go again. He wins 4,000 gold and another trivia challenge. So there's going to be a trivia available to all of the participants, and I will see if I might be able to answer it here on the air as well. This one is for a pet chicken. So there are a number of different animals that you can tame as pets. We saw a horse earlier. Chickens are something that just became available. other things. Wolves were the first thing that ever became tameable, but you can also tame spiders and scorpions, depending on which ones you find. So here's the question. As soon as it pops up here. What popular PvP event was the first major PvP event ever put on by the Bear's Tavern? And it was the Bear Tavern Sprawl. The Bear Tavern Brawl was a initial PvP outing when you had to manually flag yourself as PvP, and you really didn't get any benefits for doing so other than wanting to beat on other people. There's no loot or anything at that point, so it was just for the fun of it. Alright. Jaff has both add-on store and gold, but if he wants to risk that, he can go for it and try to walk away for more. And he went for it and got an additional 2,000 gold. So that brings his total to 6 and some add-on store credit. Nothing to sneeze at there. We have a bunch of credit we will be giving away over the nighttime hours mostly, when people might not be paying as much attention, but I can get in touch with winners later and they can use that at any time. Grimace just walked by with one of these silver masks on. That was something that was also available as a quest reward for the Grand Tour early on, probably 4 or 5 months ago. And then you can see Minerva is there wearing a wolf head version of the hat, just like the bear one that I was wearing earlier. Alright, so we're into round 3. Casey is leading. And he's going to play on. Makes his choice and wins another 3,000 gold. All right. Sounds like Bambino is playing some music for us. Let's turn off the instruments so we can actually hear him do that. For it. And he wins an additional 4,000 gold and 5 repair kits. And another trivia challenge. reason has a next question coming back. It says it goes back a bit. And since we've been going on this for 2 years now, there are lots of events, lots of history already in the making for this game, and it hasn't even been released yet. So it's an interesting community we're developing. One of the first avatars to ever receive an ONBE. Violation, Winfield, Amber. Speaking of violations, see if he's online. This is one of Violation's characters, but he doesn't seem to be on that. And I don't know any of his other character names. So the three originals were Dame Lori, Joe Garrity, and Sir Frank. Excellent. And Jath wins a horse for answering correctly. Just came up and he's picking again. And he picks a center chest. Let's see what that reveals. And he got pumpkin bombed. Let's move on. We're going to do a quick drawing now since it's about 8 o'clock. The drawings for this hour are... Let's jump over and see what we have here. Alright, the first thing we're going to draw for is that Oracle coin from Relics by Rild, courtesy of the Caverns and Style. And that is going to go to a random person here. Make sure we haven't got any more donations real quick, just in case. I don't see anything else yet. Okay. So that is going to go to random.org all the way up to number 4. There we go. That is Jack. So Jack is a regular on the nbn.info stream, and he just won himself a Oracle coin. Excellent. I want to make sure that I get the one coming from Style on there. All right, and next up is, there we go, is a $5 add-on store credit. And that goes to AK76. I don't have a name for that, but I do have an email address, so congratulations there. You have a $5 add-on store credit. And I will get those sent out shortly. Well, probably tomorrow before we get there. All right. We are going to have a quick intermission, and then I will zone out to Violations Town so we can get started on the PvP. Let's take a look at this Extra Life story, and when we get back, I will restart the stream, and we'll go for another 2 hours. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you shortly.
Cadence, our little girl, was born February 23rd, 2007. She was 5 months old when we went on a family vacation. We all got sick, very, very, very sick, and we came home from vacation, and Cadence had a really soft cry, and every time I'd lay her down, I noticed that she would kind of cry, which was not like her. I called the doctor's office, and the doctor came in, and she said, "Cadence looks great." I said, "I know, but there's something wrong." And just then, Cadence started coughing. A terrible, terrible cough. I had never heard something like that before.
I just remember getting a phone call and my wife in tears saying that we've got to go up to Primary Children's. Her heart's so large it's blocking her left lung.
She had to be admitted to the pediatric intensive care unit. She had IVs placed and had to be on medication through her IV to help her heart squeeze. She eventually had to be on a breathing machine. It was clear that her heart function was continuing to decline. She had been listed for a heart transplant, and so in order to give her a longer period of time to live while waiting for an organ, we started to investigate our ability to put in this device known as the Berlin Heart. This particular device was developed in Germany. The FDA allows us to get compassionate use and experimental use for the device in individual cases.
So we got the equipment in from Berlin, Germany. The doctors flew in to help do the procedure, and Cadence was given the Berlin Heart on November 7th.
It was a night and day difference. We had a daughter that was a little bit gray, was completely immobile, to a girl that was pink, full of life and full of energy. We had our daughter back.
She handled the Berlin Heart really well. Probably about the second week of December, Cadence started getting sick again, and the right side of her heart was now starting to fail. I worried about it for probably a day, and then I got an overwhelming feeling, and I knew Cadence's heart was coming.
Hello?
Chantel, this is Emily.
No way.
I was jumping up and down and screaming with joy, and at the same time I was crying for the poor family that lost their child to be able to save mine.
They gave Cadence a future. They gave us hope. They gave her brothers or sister. They gave her her mom and dad, their only daughter.
It was truly just extremely bittersweet. One of the things that helped us cope the most was the love and caring of the people around us in our family and in our community, and even the family that we have up at Primary Children's. I swear they love my daughter as much as I do.